Welcome back to Diary of a Christian Entrepreneur. My name is Shireen, and today we are going to take a stab at why people leave the church, which is a loaded topic, but why not? Why people leave the church, right? I'm pretty sure that you know someone or you are someone that has been hurt by someone in the church, or they said something judgmental and you said you weren't coming back, or you know someone who said that they're not coming back, or you just took a long leave of absence, right? That happens a lot these days. And I just think, let me first put this out there, that I definitely believe that in going to church, like I believe in where a lot of people are gathered, wonderful things can happen. I believe in community. I believe that when you are around people that believe what you believe and share some of the same values and the same morals, and you have them as support systems, I believe that it can have a wonderful impact on your life, right? But I also believe that not every church, right, was called to start, right? I also believe that you don't have to be, you have to find your church. I don't believe all churches have the same purpose, right? And that's just my belief, right? But I think the issue, though, around why people leave church is because of the generation. Like, it's a generational thing. And let me explain what I mean by that. I mean that we, as the, what is it, Gen Z or millennials, or we believe in relationships. Like, we are really big, if you think about it, on self-care, relationships, hashtag relationship goals. Like, we are a people that embraces other people, right? We are open. We are very open about what we are going through. We encourage other people to talk about what they go through, right? And then we encourage people to be who they are. We encourage people to talk about things, and then we, get behind them and we encourage them more. We support them. We become their support system, right? We are those kind of people, which is a good thing, right? But then we have the older generation that do not come from the same place. So I kind of think it's important to know where people come from so we can come together. Because again, I do believe in church, and I believe that we can come together as a church, but we come from two different places. I believe that the older, if you look at it, the older generation comes from not talking about their emotions. They come from being extremely private, right? They don't talk about relationships, whether it's their family, what happens here stays here, or whether it's spouse, like, again, what happens here stays here, right? This happens between us. We don't talk about that with other people, right? Or as a parent, as a child, do what I say, not as I do, right? That is what we come from. If we think about it, like our parents, not parents, those are the things that were instilled in them. It is important to notice that stuff, right? Because what you come from is what you go off of. It is the evidence that you grow off of, right? So we come from two separate days, two separate types, right? It's not the same. So now us, the younger generation, right, we come through asking more questions. If you think about it, older generation did not ask a lot of questions. They did what they were told, right? So they believe in tradition, right? Which again, tradition can be a wonderful thing. They believe in tradition, right? They just do what they've been told, right? And that can clash a lot. We're very different people, and it clashes a lot. We ask questions, which is a good thing. We want to know the truth, which I think as an older generation, we should be shown the truth. We should take it to the Bible, right? And I think that's why people leave the church. I think that's why, especially young people, they don't feel embraced. Okay, they don't feel loved, and that's an issue. I don't want to say that the older churches, the older generation is doing that on purpose, because I don't want to believe that, right? But I feel like they're not sure how to have that open relationship. They're not sure how to go about that. They just want to tell you this is wrong and this is how you do it, because that's how they have learned. Does that make sense? That's how they grew up, right? They were told what to do and they didn't ask questions, or bad things happened, right? And we are so different, okay? But I do believe that we can come together, because a parent, if we're looking at the relationship, right, just like Jesus and the church, right, the relationship, if we're looking at maybe a parent and a child relationship, it is imperative for that parent to train that child in the way that they should go, right? So they teach them, they guide them, they always course correct them. That's what a parent does, just like Jesus and us, just like God and us. That's what a parent does. They course correct them, they guide them. But that child still goes astray sometimes. That child still asks questions and are very curious. Children are very curious, right? They're always asking questions. They want to know why they should do something, right? And if you come from a household where you're just told you're going to do what I tell you to do, right, there can be conflict there. But I feel like that's something that should be embraced. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. And I'm talking from both sides here, because I would love for both sides to come together and understand the differences between us, right? It is a good thing for children, for people to ask questions, because they want to know the truth, okay? People just don't show up in church just because, right? They are interested in what you have to offer, right? They're interested, but it is also important how you come at them, right? If you come at them with love, it is more likely that they will receive what they came for, right? Just like a child would. Right? A child can be course corrected. They can have constructive criticism. They can have all that, right? They can still have it and love and thrive, right? There's nothing wrong with guiding people and showing them, okay, this is how you should probably do it, right? There's nothing wrong with trying to get people on the right path, which I feel like it is the church duty and what they maybe try to do, but what they don't get right is doing it in love, right? I think that's what's missing, right? Because again, we are such a relational people, especially as younger Christians. We are such a, I want to know I belong, and I want you to show me how to do it, but just do it in love. I want to feel accepted first, right? I want to feel like you understand me first, right? I don't want you to make me feel like I'm just going to hell. Like, that's a problem, right? That is not okay. So I feel like it is okay to want to course correct from the older generations, from the church, but it's also as okay for people coming into the church to ask questions. That is not a bad thing, right? And if someone tells me I shouldn't ask questions, I'm very weary of that person, right? When someone asks questions, your first instinct should be to show them the Bible. This is where it says X, Y, Z, right? But never in judgment, always in love, because you have been there, right? You cannot tell me that you were always this self-righteous person, right? You have been where they are, right? Or you have been in some type of struggle before, right? You came from side A, right? And you had to do the work to get to side B, to have that relationship with Christ. You had to pray. Your mom had to pray for you hard for you to even get there, right? Your family had to pray for you hard. So we have to come from both sides, right? I also want people to know that all churches are not the same. All churches are not the same, and I would love for you, if you feel like there is too much, there's going to be hypocrites in every church. We know that. I hate when people tell me that, right? But there is going to be hypocrites in every church, because people are people. But you still need to find a church where there is leadership that loves you unconditionally, that wants to genuinely help you, right? That can course correct, because telling you what you want to hear all the time is not how it works. That does not allow for growth, right? Telling you whatever it is you want to hear. No. So we do want course correction. We do want to be guided, but we want to be guided in love. If you can find a church that does that, which honestly, I feel like all churches should have that factor, but the point is they don't. Right? If you can find your place, and not all churches speak to you, right? I don't believe that they do. Certain churches are for certain people, and I feel like that is something that we should pay more attention to. Like, this church may be for this person, and it's just not where I'm at spiritually in my life, and I feel like I get more from this other church. That is okay. That is okay. Finding a church, instead of just leaving Christianity or just leaving the church, it would be so much better if we actually just find our church, because we're gonna get hurt sometimes. People are gonna say crazy stuff to us, right? And again, I believe in church, and I believe in community, and I believe in that, just having that support system. It can be a wonderful thing. But last point, even if you find that church, or if you don't find that church, I really hope for you, and I know it's possible for you to find that church where you feel like this is it, right? You can grow here. Not that they're just going to tell you what you want to hear, because that is not okay. That you can grow here and you feel like they're speaking the truth and they love, right? Even at that moment, you still have to be focused on your relationship with God. Why? Because there's still gonna be some people in that church that's gonna try you. That's just how it is, right? There's always going to be people, it may be in the church, it may be elsewhere, that's going to try you, that is going to come at you a whole next level negative. It's not going to be good, and you're going to try to go back to your old ways. No, right? You can't focus on people, though. That's the last point that I want to come across. Like, you can't focus on people, because it's not conducive to your growth. Churches can be a wonderful thing when you find the right one, but focusing on people above everything else isn't going to get you where you need to go. So your relationship with God is the thing that is going to ground you, right? In order for you to find that church, you have to keep your relationship with God. The most important thing that you will ever do is that. All right? Let me know your experience with the church. I know there's so many people that has negative experiences with a church, but let me also know your positive experience with a church. And I just want everyone I would love for people to come together and see both sides of this, right? If we just put ourselves in other people's shoes, I feel like we can learn so much. See the other sides of this. So tell me below your experiences with different churches. All right.